Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we are going to look into how you can create or manage row level access using the section access in your Qlik Sense. So, I am showcasing this in the context of client managed. The same can be implemented with ClickView, and the same can be implemented in the Qlik Cloud as well. So let's go on with it. To create the section access, there are some of the components or some of the things that we need to keep in place. And over to there, I am going to open my hub. So I have a test application here. So I am going to open this application. Now I am going to go into the data load editor. As you can see, I have some of the data inside. So I am going to remove what I don't need. So this is something, let's say I don't need. People who don't know how to generate this data. So I can demonstrate that by you need to press and hold the control button and just hit 00 twice. There are some of the rules that people follow, that section access should be above your data, and somebody tells that it should be after the data has been loaded. What I usually use is, after the data is loaded, I will create the access over here. So this is what I follow. There are some of the thumb rules that we are going to do. So over to here, I am going to write in line. So I will say access load star inline, and over to here you will have some of the columns. So first column will be access column, and all should be in uppercase. User ID and the data reduction. So in my case, let's say I'm going to reduce this dim1. So dim1 is written in this format. So I'll just do dim, or I can just rename it to, let's say, country, and the same thing is to be done over here. Okay, I can do it as state. This is my selling price. This is my. So I have just altered my data here. So if you are not familiar, so what I can suggest you in a small, in a quicker way, is just load the data. You can just hit on debug and debug few lines without the section access over to this particular table. So I will go to my sheet. I will here add a table, and in the dimension I am going to write OS user. Your OS user, I will right click this, copy. I will go to my backend and I will paste it here. So this will go in this particular format in the user ID. So in access, there are two types of accesses. So I am going to write it over here. So access has user and admin. User ID should be in this particular format, which is directory / user ID. So this is in the format that it should be in, and else will be your columns. To reduce the data, so I will choose admin here, comma, I will take the directory / and the user ID, and I will just leave this country as blank. So some of the rules that I can put it up for you all guys is, if it is blank, then this means all access. Okay, and if not blank, then this means row level access. Okay, this is the simple thing that I can introduce you all guys. So I am leaving one user as blank. I am going to copy this, paste. I will go to my, and I will pick another user. Let's say user 1. So this has the same directory over here, and I will add that, and I will say in data I want only A to be given to this particular user. Now I will do it as for the other users as well. So how many users do I actually have? Okay, I have around 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can just say A, B, C, and let's say again A. Okay, so in this way we can tell that this is the access, this is the user ID, the whole user ID, and when this country is blank you give all access, and when there it is not blank it will apply that particular filter to that particular user when that user is logged in. So there is one more entry that you have to make mandatorily, which is as an admin. Okay, so I'm just writing it down over here. The directory will be internal. Okay, so it will be an it will be an internal directory, and the user ID will be SA scheduler. Okay, so this will help you to schedule your data when you are running it from the backend QMC task. So this is a very mandatory step that you have to do it. So I have just applied admin for everybody. I have taken a user ID mandatorily to add this particular line, which is internal SA user, and the row level accesses for my specific users. I'll reload the app. As you can see, search index is. Let's go to the data model view here. So still now we have not implemented the section access. That is just we are linking that and we are checking that if it works or not. So as you can see, SA scheduler and administrator has blank and rest has specific data access. So in simple words, when I can just create a small table telling that this is the country, and let's add all the user IDs. So now as you can see, these particular user IDs will be implemented, and based on that, if I just add the, let's say, gross profit as measure, these people will have this particular access and they will only see these particular data. So I am going to keep this over here, so I can remove the user ID, and this is the specific set. This will be the specific set of data that will be visible for them. Okay, so over to here I will go to the backend again. And now you need to write two keywords: section access, and now over here you need to end this also. So you need to write section application, and now your section access is complete. So if I load this now, the data is been stored. Now if you go to the model viewer, you will not see this particular table here now. So it is not linked and it will not be visible. Now I have the access of ABC, so I have all the accesses here. So let's publish this app into a separate stream. So I will create a new stream. So if you have not looked the other videos, please go ahead and look into the QMC videos. So I am giving access of section access to all the users in that particular directory directly. So I will publish this to the session test application. As you can see, application is gone. I can open this application. I will copy this URL. As you can see, the application is here. I will say a private window. I will open the same application, log in with another user. As you can see, this particular person has only the access of A, and he will only look the data of A. So this is a very basic way that you can apply section access. So I am going to say duplicate. So I have the duplicate of my application, and I will go to my load editor. Now, there I told you in the start that there is a myth that the other developers, some of the developers might say access should be about after your data, and I specifically follow this, I specifically follow this particular format, that access should be after the data. So I will just move it up. So I will let the section access load first and then the data. If I load, I will go to my sheet, and as I can see, all access is given. So there is one more thing I forgot to tell you guys, that if you are applying a section access, then for your personal user ID you need to have your name in your section access. Okay, in your section access file. So I have created inline, but there can be a QED, a Excel, a flat file, anything. Okay, so you need to have your name. And let's say publish and replace, and I have this user over here. I will refresh, and let's look if the section access is applied. As you can see, the section access is applied. So it doesn't really matters if your section access is above your data or below your data. So this is the basics of section access and how to apply the row level restrictions.